in the religious texts, they mention the fallen angel, the fallen serpent, and fallen from heaven. And these all refer to Tiamat. And Tiamat being Lucifer. Yes. Which is new to me. But when the secret societies began their mindless pursuit on sucking the goodness out of the spiritual peoples, such as the Druids, Egypt, and all other cultures that they stole from, and then they rewrote their history, stealing their secrets, and all names being skewed, like the solar worship of Aton, a twisted version of solar worship. And then they changed the names around and put it in the Bible. So Lucifer was changed from originally being Tiamat to now known as titles, and passed on to bringers of light in the high cults of the elite. And those of the light were given the title Lucifer, the light bearer. Lucifer is light, and quite possibly the god of Tiamat. And Tiamat fell to earth just like Lucifer, and was also beautiful before descending. Again, just like Lucifer depicted in the Bible, was once beautiful before fallen from the heavens. And Luce in Old French means fish or pike. The fish also represents Jesus, and also the Vesica Pisces. See, the Vesica Pisces, and that came from my dream before I even went into this. So Lucifer, after Tiamat fell to earth, I think was then worshipped as Lucifer on earth, like he was possibly worshipped when he was in the heavens. I think the atonists under Akhenaten's reign raped the true meaning of Lucifer and cast him as a Satan. From the evidence I've seen and the theories show me that Lucifer was demonized in Christianity in the same way that the snake was, and both have been strongly linked to wisdom. See, they've been demonized, but they've been linked to wisdom too. So that's a little nugget that's firing away there in the back of my mind. So Lucifer, being that of light, has put to the mainstream by the Jesuits and all the other little minions, has been put to the mainstream as a Satan, a devil. But why would a dark overlord be connected to light? And there are other big deities they are worshipping, but for now I'm focusing on Lucifer. But Lucifer is important, and that's why I have to look at these topics and subjects and discuss them. See, this is the light that makes the illumined Lucifer. And what I'm thinking is, how can they be spiritually illumined when they have black hearts, no morals? And maybe this is why they want to keep Lucifer, being light, away from us. Because we as human beings have a major advantage when it comes to being spiritual. We just need time to find it again. They must have known having an understanding of light would evolve and activate our minds. And they can't have that now, can they? And when I talk about atonism, we go back to Egypt and Akhenaten and the worship of Aton, the first ever tyrant, in my opinion, the piece of shit who marked his line in the sand to be the first to create the New World Order. And he started with the one religion, Aton, the twisted and tweaked version of solar worship. It's been changed not so long ago. They now call it the Bible. He was the first to push and force this into other cultures, you know, the forcing of religion. I mean, the birth of everything spiritually that once was before became corrupted, demonized and ripped apart. The Druids, who I think before they were corrupted were inevitably good and were the gatekeepers to pass this now sacred knowledge on to us. They slaughtered the Druids. Like everything else. The Vatican takes pride of place when it comes to the blood on their hands. They suck dry every religion, every spiritual and sacred country, stole their knowledge, their ideas, their symbols, and kept it for themselves, and fused it all into their own little melting pot. The Vatican is a magpie's nest, for sure. The reason I'm talking about atonism, because from as far back as I've managed to go, this really was the one that set sail for human control and enslavement. And there's also, with this cult, an agenda that's slowly killing us in a private hell aspect too. Atonism is a corrupted version, like I've said before, a corrupted version of solar worship. Just so you don't think that I believe solar worship is evil. Like everything we see now is evil could have had a pure original heart before the crazies sank their teeth into it. And they are the crazies. See, Christianity had a pure form going back to the Druids. But look what happened to that, and look what happened to them. The Aton worship is very popular in our times, just under the new guise of the Judeo and Christian churches. They kept that torch aflame, and by the way things are going, will continue to do so. The religion that is Aton means 10. And we're going to delve into these numbers and how this is going to connect to kabbalah. Now, like I said, Aton means 10, and the name Aton, at10, simple as that. And in Roman numerals for 10 is X, and X when sat up is a cross, so that's where you get the cross from with the Atons. So the cross, which has been used before Christianity and beyond, usually had a snake wrapped around it. I think that symbol goes back to the Celts, but I'm not sure. But Akhenaten stole the original cross symbol which can also be a cube. And then he took the snake away from the cross and demonized him. See, the snake is knowledge, the pineal, and a possible stargate. And if you turn the original symbol of the cross with the snake wrapped around it and turn the cross into a cube or a box, you now have the snake as knowledge thinking outside the box. And we need to remember this again. Now back to the number 10 and atonism, and how we can spot the aton symbolism. And here we go. We have number 10 Downing Street, which comes from aton. It's actually telling you this. Above 10 Downing Street is a rose window in the shape of the rising sun, and it has 8 panes, and the number 8 is the sun. When you see the 8th card on the tarot, again it's the sun. We even have the lion on the door, which represented the 8th tarot. In the central pane there is an arrow, which is the symbol of Aries, which was the age in which atonists under Akhenaten's reign worshipped the sun. And Aries is ruled by Mars, the god of war. Now the symbol of Aries kills it right there for me. If you read about Akhenaten's reign, there was a plutonic year, meaning the sun goes backwards and moves into every house of the zodiac. Akhenaten and the other religious atonists saw this as a major event, you know, like phenomenal proportions. This was a big thing. So this meant that the sun was now in Aries, and that's how he saw the new system. But the rest of Egypt were not followers of Aton, but they were more into the more traditional solar worship, the non-corrupted version. And this could have infuriated Akhenaten to begin forcing his religious creation of atonism onto the world. Who knows? Because of the sign of Aries, and knowing that Akhenaten was very stringent when it came to the fact that Aries was in, that the sun was in the house of Aries at that time, and the solar discs and all the solar symbolisms, that's Aton right there. It's telling you. So maybe Lucifer is demonized also by keeping us away from the light. See, before I've started investigating the programming and conditioning that was introduced to us as soon as I was born, and Lucifer was always, as I mentioned, a dark overlord, a demon, someone of the dark. So to truly find the light, you have to accept Lucifer as being just that. So wiping out the shamans and the druids who were possibly using light for positive reasons may have held knowledge that should have been passed on to us, but the Jesuits put paid to that.